Why are museums such a significant part of society? What role do they play in our understanding of the world and its history? These are questions that might swirl in the mind of anyone stepping into the grand halls of a museum. The story of museums begins with the word itself. Museums, hailing from the Latin word museum, and originally from the ancient Greek museion, referred to a place or temple dedicated to the Muses. These were the patron divinities in Greek mythology of the arts. So, from the very start, museums were tied to the concept of fostering and celebrating creativity, knowledge, and intellectual pursuit. The earliest known museum dates back to ancient times, and it was intrinsically linked to academia and the preservation of rare items. Initially, museums were private collections of interesting items. It was much later that the idea of educating the public took root, transforming these private collections into public troves of knowledge and insight. In the modern world, the purpose of museums has evolved and expanded. They not only collect and display objects of artistic, cultural, or scientific significance, but also interpret these objects for the study and education of the public. Museums have become a measure of the cultural and economic health of a city and a tool to increase the sophistication of its inhabitants. In the late 19th century, museums of natural history embodied the scientific desire for the classification of life and interpretations of the world. As American colleges grew, they too developed their natural history collections for the use of their students. By the end of the 19th century, cutting-edge research had moved from museums to university laboratories. While many large museums, like the Smithsonian Institution, are still respected as research centers, research is no longer the main purpose of most museums. The consistent mission of museums, however, has been to protect and preserve cultural artifacts for future generations. Much care, expertise, and expense go into preserving aging documents, artifacts, artworks, and buildings. All museums display objects that are important to a culture. As historian Stephen Conn writes, to see the thing itself with one's own eyes and in a public place, this is the essence of the museum experience. In summary, museums originated as private collections and evolved into public institutions dedicated to education and preservation of culture. They have become an integral part of society, reflecting the cultural and economic health of a city and serving as a hub for study and education. Today, museums continue to protect and preserve artifacts, providing the public with a tangible link to the past and insights into different cultures. The history and evolution of museums remind us of the importance of preserving and understanding our shared heritage.